Good morning. It's beautiful this morning. Hope you slept well. Don't work too hard today. You know what time it is. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Starting to get these cool little red flowers coming off on this thing. Pretty neat. Well, called the extended warranty yesterday for the 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I let them know, due to the nature of how the policy is written, the customer has chosen not to go forward with tear down of the engine to get to the lifters to see and identify the failure. The reason the customer has chosen not to go forward with it is because of the liability it possibly leaves on the customer. The way the policy is written is the customer has to secure, you have to secure teardown time through the customer in case anything inside that engine doesn't look right, that the warranty company could possibly decline the repair on. So if you bought the vehicle at 92,000 miles and it's got 94 on it now, you don't know the history of how that vehicle was taken care of before. Something internal happens, they say secure teardown time with the customer, and then you may proceed. Once you get inside, if we see that it's clean and there's no buildup, there's no varnish and sludge, then we will pay for teardown and replacement. But until then, you have to have guarantee from the customer that if we choose to not pay, they can take care of you. So I call them up and I say, hey, look, it's too much of a liability. They don't know what the inside of this engine looks like. They've only put 2,200 miles on it. They're too nervous and scared to proceed forward with this. Well, here's the turn to that. The guy then turns and says, but if she keeps driving it knowing that there's a tick and there's some kind of internal engine issue going on and it gets worse, now you've just voided any warranty for that engine. Oh, so you pretty much got her in a spot right now where she has to say yes. Because if she wants to keep her warranty, knowing that there's a tick, tap, something going on from inside that engine, that needs to be taken care of, because the customer's aware that something's not right and they're willing to keep driving it because they're nervous about the way this policy is written. Now you're really going to stick it to them. If anything happens in the future, they got no coverage. Correct. Well, I called the customer up. I dropped the oil. I ate the oil. It doesn't matter. I got plenty of oil. You guys know that. I dropped the oil. I stuck a borescope up through the oil pan. Doesn't look like anything nasty inside the oil pan. Looks pretty clean. Oil fill cap and stuff looks pretty clean. I said, at this point, I got you. I'll make sure that no matter what, you come out on top on this. Let's go ahead and start teardown process. So we're starting teardown process today. The sad part about this is, what if there wouldn't have been somebody like me working with her that's willing to take the risk and not put everything on the customer to make sure they're taken care of? What if it would have been somebody else? They'd have pushed that vehicle right out the door, and said, screw it then. If you're not going to secure teardown time, I don't care who's paying for it, then I'm not doing it. Which is the right thing to do, to be honest with you. It is the right thing to do, because you have to make sure you're going to get paid. But from my professional experience, I don't think we're going to have a problem here. The inside of the engine just looks too clean for me to see any red flags when we get down to the lifters and find, that there's some kind of lifter failure going on. Anyway, it's just me. And I have no doubt in my mind, but it's shocking the amount of stuff going on with these warranties that people just don't pay attention to, or they don't know. They don't know how their policy works. They just know they got an extended warranty. When you buy an extended warranty, you really need to read everything about that extended warranty. Some of you think that, oh, that's such a great deal. The other one was $3,000. This is only $1,800. And it's a higher tier. Did you read it? You really didn't. You just signed the paperwork. You don't know what's in that warranty. That's the sad part. You sign stuff all the time and you don't even look and see what you're signing. I don't know. 2014 Chrysler came in yesterday, 200 with a 3.6 liter. The guy says it's overheating sometimes. So we get to looking at it. Pressure test the cooling system. There's coolant pissing out of the bottom of the overflow bottle. Overflow bottle's got a crack in it. Tell the guy, hey, look, I can get an overflow bottle, get it installed and topped off. It's going to be right around $180 for everything to at least start with that overflow bottle. Because what will end up happening is, as the cooling system temperature rises and pressure increases inside that bottle, it will try to find an escape path out through that crack, and it will bleed out, and it will cause like a gurgling, bubbling effect. That's normal for that to happen with a cracked reservoir. So let's get that reservoir replaced first. We replace the reservoir, top everything off, fill it up. Everything seems to be running fine. Install, no issue. Getting on the throttle, no issue. Tell the customer, at this point, do you want us to stop? Because it didn't seem like he had a lot of money. At this point, do you want us to stop and you want to test drive it the way it is? That could be what was causing, obviously the coolant loss, a little bit of overheating, and the bubbling that you were hearing coming from the engine. It has stopped now. And the guy says, okay, I'll drive it. He pays his money, he gets in the car, and he takes off. Comes back about 20 minutes later and says, hey man, it's overheating again. Okay, shoot man, what are we doing here? So start the engine up, listening to it run. It starting to bubble again. It's boiling inside the cooling system, and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with this thing, because these Chryslers, they have a lot of these cooling problems. They're junk. They're absolutely trash. They're throwaway cars. They're the 200s are just, they're ugly for one, and number two, they're garbage cars. And it's boiling inside the cooling system. I'm going through the cooling system, and I found, oh, the fans aren't turning on. Why aren't the fans turning on? That's odd. Find the fuses. Fuses are good. Find the relays. Why did the relays? Something's not going on here. It's not supplying. Something's not getting supplied to one of these relays. One of them was a ground. One of them, what is it? Both grounds. The grounds are down for the 2 center relays. There's a fuse box on the driver's side, driver's side of the engine, up against the fender area, and then right above it there's a row of 4 relays. The 2 center relays are for the cooling fans, and I can use my power probe and make the fans kick on, but I can't figure out how else. What the hell's going on with this thing? Why won't these fans kick on? So at this point, customer's not getting charged anymore because he made it very curious that he don't have a lot of money, but I can't send him out of there with freaking cooling fans not working and the vehicle overheating. I hate getting into situations like this when you're dealing with customers that absolutely have no money, but then they make you feel like you're obligated to fix their stuff because of, well, you've already touched it now. And I only told him this was a starting point with this reservoir. It needs to be replaced before we can even move forward. So we get to looking around, can't find anything. I can't find anything in the vehicle. I literally cannot find anything on why this thing's malfunctioning. So I reach out to good old check engine Chuck. I said, man, I suck with these Chryslers. I can diagnose them. I can get so far, but these Chryslers do some really weird things, and I don't have the experience that you do working on these things. What's the deal with this cooling fan system? And he says, so you did find the problem. Here's what burns all the technicians' asses, he said. There's probably nothing wrong with the vehicle at this point. You fixed the issue, which was the cracked tank, the coolant leaking out of it, it getting low, overheating, and just the customer barely keeping the vehicle alive, probably almost damaging it, blowing a head gasket. The computer freaks out and stops supplying grounds. It stops doing weird things. So now that you've got everything right, reach down in the driver's side wheel well area behind the bumper and take a 12 millimeter long extension with a swivel socket and pull the negative cable off of the battery and touch it over to the positive. And basically deplete the capacity of energy left in those modules and accumulators that are in the computers in the system. And basically what you're doing is you're resetting the TIPM. And after you hold it there for 5-10 seconds, whatever, probably not even, you can probably just touch it there just for 2 or 3 seconds and take it off. But I held it there for like 10 seconds and then I plugged it back in, screwed my screw down, got in the vehicle, started the vehicle up. And now I'm able to command the fans on and off through the computer, and then now the fans are working by themselves just from a computer reset. You won't know that type of stuff. Hey, you not have failures and stuff in your life or run into problems where you chased your ass like I was, chasing my ass. Hey, Chuck, what's going on with this thing? I'll reset the computer. Chryslers do that weird shit where they'll just shut down. They'll stop. Certain things will just stop functioning for no reason. That's what they do. Reset the TIPM. Well, I did. And the fans started working. Spent an extra hour on that guy's car. Not getting paid for it. Seems like a story of my life sometimes, especially in the area where I work. It's bad. Because you end up adopting somebody. These people can get their car to you, just barely get to you, and then when they get it to you, it's done. It ain't going nowhere. Then it starts weighing on your mind. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to help them out, and I hope this guy remembers me. I try to look for some of the good in people. I hope this guy remembers me, and if he needs anything in the future and does have money, he comes back to me. But thanks to Chuck, thanks to me trying to dig in and at least give a crap about people, the guy's back on the road. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? I've just learned now that this is a big giant learning experience for me, and I didn't know anything about that TIPM. So eating that hour that's possibly gonna make me money in the future, I'm okay with that, because I learned something. You can teach this old dog new tricks, because I ain't that old. And it was just as simple as resetting the computer. Who would have thought? Anyway, y'all be blessed. Have a great day. I love y'all. Sorry the video is so long. Remember, we do have the donation fund for the Pay It Forward program. So if any of you guys have it in your heart to donate towards the Pay It Forward program for people in need, I don't take from that money unless I tell you guys first. And I think we have about $1,600 in there. So if you want to donate towards the program, please do so. Have a great day, guys. I love y'all. Be blessed. Take care. I'll see you later.